All right, in a previous video, the video I filmed just a couple days ago, I talked about how I bought off a gun broker what I thought was an auction for Russian pistol parts. It looked like a Nagant. I got a bunch of Nagants, thought I'd buy it. It was listed by a lady who had it listed as Russian pistol parts from my late husband's collection. Threw down 120 bucks, but when it arrived, what I found is I had a numbers matching complete M1893 Norwegian Nagant, which is pretty rare. The only thing missing was the lanyard ring, which is no big deal. So let's go ahead and put it together. These things go together like any other Nagant. The first thing I like to start with is the right grip, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to get into the mainspring. It's a real pain in the ass to try to get that screw through that mainspring. It's not going to happen. I'll tell you that right now. So put the right grip on first. I know it's counterintuitive, but it's what needs to be done. And another thing too is kind of odd about these Nagants is that the grips attach from the inside out. The next thing I like to put on is the loading gate spring. I already dropped it in there because it was a little tricky to get in there. Just tighten it down. Barely tighten it down because I'm gonna put that loading gate on. I'll tighten it down after I get the loading gate. Next thing we want to do is make sure this all aligns properly. This is the trigger guard. It swivels there. If it's not on properly, it won't close and it becomes a real pain in the ass once you get it all put together. So make sure it's lining up properly. I like to drop in the trigger. It's real simple. Next thing I like to drop in is the hand. I'm telling you, if you put these together too many times, you will forget to put that hand in there, and it is irritating to get this thing put together and see a hand laying on the bench. Next thing is the trigger. These go together very simple. They were designed that way. Just drop it on the post and just pull it back till it locks into place. There you go. Should be in the rebound position right here. These have what's called a rebounding hammer. After you fire it, it hits and it pulls back a little bit to keep the pin from contacting a live shell in the cylinder. Pretty smart safety feature here all those years ago. The next thing I like to do is close this trigger guard, put in the trigger guard screw. And these screws only go in one place. It's really hard to mix these screws up. They won't fit, which is really good. And if you notice, there's some alphabets around the screw holes. If you just simply follow the alphabets, you can put them together and disassemble it the same way. Next thing I like to do is put in the mainspring. In the mainspring, there's a little cut right there that this goes into, putting in these mainspring. Oh, one thing I want to show you before I put that in. There's a little tab sticking out that you have to put into a hole right here for that mainspring. If you don't get that in there and you put that mainspring in there the first time you pull back the hammer, that spring's gonna come flying out. So let's put it in the little cut right there. Let's get it in there. These are fairly easy. Just take it and you can squeeze it with your hand. Get it behind the hammer. There's the hole right there I was talking about. Slide it till it clicks. There you go. Let's check out the action on it. It should be able to function at this point. Pull it back. First time I've ever put this together. Wow, man, that was a solid click. That's a good sign. Seems to work good in single action. So you notice how that hammer's all the way down until I let go of that trigger. Watch that hammer pull back in the rebound position. This thing is working beautiful. Let's try it in double action and see what happens. Man, it's got the typical 20-pound Nagant trigger pull, so this is strong. This is a good, strong action. I'm impressed. All right, the next thing I like to do is put the grip on the subframe, because again, you can only put it together from the inside out. Then I put the centerpiece of the grips in. It's a 3-piece grip set. Now, this one was cracked apparently. Sometimes somebody glued it together, but it is numbers matching. Let's see if we can get it in there. Hope it don't crack again. Oh, got it in there, slid in there good. Let's get the screw in there. I'm not going to tighten it down too much because it is It is cracked, and all it needs to do is just hold it snug. Needs to go flush, but other than that, I'm not going to tighten it down too much. There it is. Let's get the subframe on. Turn it over, put the subframe screw in. It's starting to look like a Nagant pistol at this point. Turn it over, everything looks good. Look at that rebounding hammer. All right, the next thing I put on is the loading gate. Remember, I didn't tighten that spring down too much. Let's go ahead and get this bad boy on there. Here, got the screw for it. Let's go ahead and get that in there. I want to go through it. There we go. Don't want to tighten that down until I get this up. Then you tighten down the spring. Tighten this down. Oh, screwdriver fell apart. No biggie. Yeah, the spring is pretty tight. Pretty good. Let's go ahead and open this up. We will drop in the cylinder. Slide this out, turn this way. Cylinder pin should slide right in. And it does. Everything looking good. Come on, there you go. Everything looking good. Now, of course, I'm gonna have the typical Nagant pain in the ass, slide the cylinder pin in, turn it till it locks, and this is looking good. Wow, listen to that. This thing is in great shape. I just got an M1893 complete Norwegian Nagant. Looks like it's in excellent mechanical shape. The finish has been high-speed buffed. I'm probably going to bead blast this thing and Cerakote it, make it a range shooter. I shoot 32 Smith & Wesson longs to do 7.5s with no problems, but I also form 7.5 brass out of 32-20. After I get it Cerakoted, I'll make another video. Wow, what an incredible find. 120 bucks. You never know. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. It really helps me out with the algorithms. I realize I'm not as professional as some of the big guys, but I'm really trying. And anything you do for likes and subscribes really helps the situation. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Oh, I'll also put a link in the description for the other video I made where I got it. Thank you again.